What's going on? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to mount your AMS Lite on top of the Bambu Lab A1. Let's get into it. Now if you're like me, desk space is precious, so having the AMS sitting next to the printer takes up a surprising amount of room, and I want to keep this spot in the middle clear to kind of work on projects. Plus, if you're running multiple printers, this setup lets you pack them even tighter together. Now I know some people are going to comment, oh, I wouldn't do that. And that is fine, but this is a guide for those of you who do want to do it, so let's jump into the part list. Now before you start tearing things down, you're gonna need a few parts. First off, you need to actually print all the parts. Bambu Lab's official account has all the files you'll need on MakerWorld, which I'll make sure to link down in the description for you guys. It consists of two main parts, the top mount bracket and the Z-axis stiffener. I didn't do anything fancy with the print settings, just your standard profile will work just fine. I used a regular PLA with a higher infill. I probably should have used something like PETG or even a stronger like PLA+. The only PETG I had in stock at the time was a black color, and I really wanted to keep the parts white just to give it a little bit more of an aesthetic look. I've obviously disassembled the top mount and put it back to its default configuration for this video, but I've been using it top mounted with all these PLA parts for a few months now. Absolutely no issues at all. Secondly, you're gonna need some screws and an Allen wrench or a key, whatever you prefer to call it. Now Bambu sells an official screw kit for this, which is the easy route, but if you're a handy person and have screws laying around from other projects, all you're gonna need is 12 M3 10mm screws and 2 M3 23mm screws. You can probably just hit up your local hardware store and find them there too. And lastly, you'll want some lube. I know you guys got plenty of that laying around. There should have been some that came in your accessory box when you bought your 3D printer, but any plastic safe lubricant will work just fine. Before we jump into swapping it out though, let's take a minute to take a look at today's video sponsor, Maono. You don't need an expensive mic anymore, and this thing proves it. This is the Maono PD100W mic, and what makes this so unique is that it's both a USB-C and wireless microphone. USB-C gives you a more controlled studio sound, and wireless lets you move freely with up to 50 meters of range and up to 40 hours of battery life, all without sacrificing clarity. Being that it's both wired and wireless, one of the coolest features is that you can switch between wireless and wired mode without having to change your setup. It also includes advanced 7-layer noise reduction with built-in AI noise cancellation, so your voice stays clear even in noisier, untreated rooms, which is perfect if you want to use it for streaming, just gaming with your friends, or even starting a podcast. You can also customize the EQ, tone, filters, and more in the Maono Link software and pair that versatility with its high sound quality thanks to its 30mm dynamic capsule, one-click noise canceling, and the fact that it's only $52 on sale at the moment, and you've got a mic that's affordable, flexible, and built for modern multi-platform creators. Very solid. All right, where were we? Let's start with the Z-axis stiffener pieces. You need these because when you load up the AMS Lite with 4 full spools, that's a decent amount of weight sitting up top. The stiffener just helps dampen any wobble or resonance, especially when you're printing at higher speeds. The cool part is it's got this elastic damper design on the bottom. You can see these little flexible bits that absorb vibration. I mean, come on, that's pretty smart. Grab some of those M3 10mm screws and just attach it to the frame. Make sure it's seated properly and everything's snug. Now I wouldn't go like gorilla mode on the screws, but you want them tight enough that nothing's moving around. All right, now time for the top mount bracket itself. One thing I really like about this design is that it's actually tilted forward slightly, which is intentional. It helps with the weight distribution and keeps everything balanced. The upper part of the bracket can also swivel left and right, which is handy if you want to reach those 2 back spools. Assembly of this is pretty easy. You first want to apply grease into the mount's guide slot and combine the mount's upper and lower parts together. From here, you'll want to align the snap-on fasteners and rotate them to lock it tightly. This piece here is actually the lock, so you want to slide that all the way down until it's flush, and then take the screw and tighten it down. Now we need to actually attach this latch piece, because this is how it mounts to the top of the gantry on the A1. Slide it in there and grab 2 of those M3 23mm screws and insert them on both ends and screw them in all the way. Make sure after you're done, test out the latching mechanism, make sure it's nice and snug, and will hold the top bracket to the gantry. If it's good, you can actually take this and mount it up to the gantry, so we can move on to the next part. Before we mount the AMS Lite on top, you're gonna want to take your 4-pin plug in the back and disconnect it. That way you don't have to worry about it, and now you can take your 2mm Allen wrench again and start undoing these 4 screws that hold the AMS Lite stand to the AMS body. Once the base is off, take the AMS body and connect it to the top mount, and you can take those same 4 screws from earlier and use it to connect it. I'd store your AMS Lite base somewhere where you can easily find it, because you're gonna need it if you wanna go back to that default configuration. And actually, now that I just spoke that, you could probably just 3D print another base, but still put it somewhere safe. Make sure to take your 4-pin connector and plug it back in the back, otherwise your AMS Lite will not work properly. The last thing, and this is something that you don't wanna overlook, is to position the PTFE tube organizer. You're gonna wanna move your hot end and heat bed so that they're touching each other. In that position, Then go up and take the edge of the silicone tube, slide it down so that it's lined up with the lower edge of the support beam. Bambu says this will give you the perfect amount of slack. So that is it, very simple, you're done. The longest thing is gonna be just printing out the parts, even so you can fit it on 2 print beds. And now your A1 has a clean, compact footprint. If you've got multiple printers like me, you can actually fit them side by side without having them take over your entire workspace. And I don't know about you, but there's just something about the top mounted AMS Lite on there. It just looks more sleek, it looks better. The printer runs just as smooth as before. I haven't noticed any issues with the added weight, and that Z-axis stiffener really does its job. I made a short video on this before I decided to do like a long form guide on how to do it, and almost all of the comments were reassuring that as well. People using it for a year or two, having no issues whatsoever, so I wouldn't be worried at all, I'm not. So if you've been on the fence about this upgrade, I would say go for it. The print files are free, the screws are cheap, and the space saving is so nice. If this video helped you out at all, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!